This is the problem here. Just trying to find all this. I'm trying to find a live feed after you go live, because you can't see the comment section until you do.
Yeah, it's not
So,
on the internet.
yeah, it usually takes a couple minutes to pull up.
So you need to take a couple minutes for people to get there?
Usually. But here we are.
Earthbound Misfits is live.
But here we are. Here we go. Got Galileo with us this morning.
And Prince Charming.
So got Galileo with us this morning. Look, we got it all set up at 9 o'clock.
Look at
Go
us.
us. We got the comment section up and everything. So not much of a delay this morning. We're getting better at it, right? So I posted a picture of me and Galileo earlier this week, and I haven't featured him on the channel yet.
He's my baby.
And I don't know why, because he's so beautiful.
He's gorgeous.
He's an albino milk snake, and he's about a year old.
He was our first snake, the first snake we bought.
And I think he's getting ready to shed, because there's a lot of space between his scales. He's nice and white, but you know, he's not going to quit moving probably.
He never does.
He doesn't really quit moving. Sometimes he balls up. I don't know if you guys can hear as well. So we're in a remote location this week. Not our usual spot. Same as last week, not our usual spot, but
My shoes are getting
here we
stuck.
are. We made the live stream happen. So, oh, who's all in? Who's all in here? I can't see. Yeah, he's really jolty this morning.
He was pretty chill a minute ago until you went live.
I know, now he's trying to show off. So this morning, we are drinking, because we're in a remote location, drinking Starbucks. Wait. There you go. If you guys want to see exactly how much I like coffee, look at this order. Yeah, 5 shots.
It's a heart attack in a cup.
Heart attack in a cup.
He'll drink 2 a day if I let him. Give him a tepid, jittery hello, too.
So, we're still, what should we talk about this week?
It's going to be hot.
It's going to be a hot week. It's been hot for a week here. It's been almost 100 degrees every day.
Except yesterday was our cool day.
Yeah.
It was like 84 was the high. It was still warm, but it wasn't 92.
Yeah, and we've been out on the water a lot. We try to get out the paddleboard and everything, you know, but trying to keep the snakes cool. So that's part of that's a problem that some people have, right? When it gets really hot is, you know, you're always trying to keep your enclosures warm for your snake, but then when it gets to be temperatures like this where air conditioners can't keep up, or you're 100 plus degrees, you know, your enclosures start to heat up a little more. So keep a good eye on your snakes and make sure you're checking their temperature if you're in hot weather like we are, because it can rise above what they're comfortable with.
Make sure their temperature stays consistent.
Yep. So we just, what we did was open up a couple of the enclosures and put some little fans to kind of move the air around the room, so it wouldn't be so,
Get out from under the
so it wouldn't be so hot, so humid, so stuck, you know, because you can't overheat your snakes, so you got to be careful. And in hot weather, don't try to feed them things like ice cubes, cold foods, stuff like that, like
or
cold
put ice
meals,
cubes in their water.
or put ice cubes in their water, because you know you don't want to risk your snake getting
Foot bracelet.
ingesting something frozen, which is gonna, you know, likely
Here you are.
kill them, or at the very least, it's gonna mess them up real bad. Regurgitate. We don't want that. So
It's like not having the frozen thaw completely thawed out when you feed them. That little frozen chunk in the middle can screw them up.
yeah. And then also on real hot days, sometimes I'll take the snakes out and kind of let them free roam. So on the, you know, they'll be on the floor, so on the lower part of the room, where it's not so hot, and they can kind of get out of that stagnant enclosure. I do have fans on most of my enclosures, So when it does get hot, that fan will kick on and move that air around for me
Speaking
and pull it
of
out of the enclosure.
they are double fans, and I think they're aquatic fans.
Yeah,
That's what we bought.
they're aquatic cooling fans, and they're only like $10 a piece. But like if you have PVC enclosures, they really help if your humidity tends to get too high, right?
You hook them up to the thermostat that your heat source is hooked up to, and then when the humidity gets too high, the fan will kick on.
Yeah. Yeah, we're not speaking at this. This is our church, right?
What's going on here?
This is our church. That's a pretty funny comment. MB.
Rattlesnakes. We don't have rattlesnakes.
Yeah, show the white snake. Average Cookie says, show the white snake. Then let's see Charming.
Oh, Charming is a banana pewter. This is my baby. I bought him on my birthday. And I named him Prince Charming because he is handsome and he showed up all in white. It's my Charming. His shoes are stuck right now. Here, baby. But he has got some gorgeous yellowing that he has acquired in his last couple of sheds. His head is still pretty pink, and he's got kind of a pink stripe that goes down his dorsal, about 3/4 of the way down his neck.
I think he's about a year old.
Just about, yeah, just under a year old. We've had him a few months. He was just a baby when we got him. He does have a spider gene. That's why you see him corkscrew and go upside down like he does. But he still eats just fine. He doesn't have a problem striking. He ate real good this week. Him and Galileo both ate real good this week. No problems. He's trying to hide from us.
Yeah, we recently had a move, so we were kind of, when your snakes go through stress sometimes, they'll stop eating. So we were kind of worried about if they're going to take their meals this week or not. Everybody ate this week.
Yes.
I had to feed some live to a couple of my pythons. Herschel,
Archimedes, I think.
Pleiades, Herschel, and Gorgeous George all got live feeds this week because Gorgeous George got fed a live rat because I had an extra live rat. I got one too many. I didn't want to waste it. But Herschel and Pleiades haven't eaten in like 2 weeks. So I went ahead and gave them a live this week, and that seemed to do the trick. And the next week I'll offer a frozen thaw again. Hopefully the situation had calmed down a little bit from the move and everything. So we're still waiting on our house to be finished. So Ghost is in. Hey Ghost, nice to see you here, man.
Hey, Ghost. He said something about a Lamar Jackson edit. I don't know what that means. I could just be dumb.
Can you cover the camera
For a
for Lamar Jackson edit? I'm not following the reference, I guess. I don't know. What's Lamar Jackson? Should I know who that is? Is that like pop culture thing or?
You remember we're old. And we don't look old, but we are. We're in our mid-40s.
Look Galileo here. So,
I have a bracelet.
yeah. These milk snakes are so cool. If you watch the clip when I went to Minnesota, we got I caught an Eastern milk snake. And that was pretty cool because I own a milk snake. And
Is that your mom? It's my mom.
you can hold both snakes.
No, I'm just,
It was really cool to catch one in the wild and
my baby.
see what they look like, the patterning and their belly. The belly of that thing was so beautiful.
And they're just as active.
Yeah, they're just as active. We'll poop on you just as quick.
Yeah. This one's constantly on the move.
Look at the belly. This is one of the things I love about corn snakes.
He's so pretty.
Just look at the belly on him. He's beautiful. He's beautiful. So, we might not go the whole hour this week because we have a whole lot going on, obviously. But I wanted to make sure that we came in and said hi to everybody this week.
And we're going to take the kids on the water. Absolutely. It's too hot for this mess.
Yeah. What was I saying about?
You were saying something?
I thought I was saying something. I thought I was making a point. You guys remember? I don't remember what the point was I was making.
About the milk snake?
Yeah, about keeping their enclosures when it's real hot like this, keeping their enclosures. You know, we turn our CHEs off when it's hot like this.
Yeah, even in the dragon enclosures, it can get up to 106, 110 in their enclosure if there's CHEs on a hot day, and that's just too hot for them.
Of course, everything's thermostatically controlled, but you know, like I said, we open up those doors and give them a nice, cool environment to thrive in because you know it gets too hot. Snakes like hot, but if it gets too hot, they're gonna have an adverse reaction. So.
I should bring Antares down too.
Yeah, you can bring in Antares if you want to put Galileo back and bring down a dragon.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna put my bangle back.
Okay.
He's a good boy. Don't touch me.
So, who's all in here? Drop a comment so I can see who's
Ghost,
in
Average
here.
Cookie, Cross Sands, MB. Where's Candace?
I don't know. Candace Cookies? Average Cookie?
Critters. Candace Critters, I think.
Yeah. Oh, because I read Average Cookie. Candy's Cookies, Candy's Critters, you know. I got it messed up, but we're trying to work on this new episode, but in between all the moves and everything that we're going through, waiting on our new house to get ready, it's been kind of a pain in the butt to try to sit down and have a place to edit quietly and actually get an episode out. But I really do have like 4 episodes I'm waiting to drop.
He's picking up my phone. He wrapped around the leaf on the back.
Look, pick it up. Show him what he's done here.
He's holding it.
Look at what he's done here.
I got one of those pop things on the back of my phone, and he just wrapped himself around it and picked my whole phone up.
That's awesome.
He's a good boy.
That's awesome. What are you doing, dude?
He doesn't know.
So yeah, it's been hard to get to editing videos and all that stuff. So hopefully I get right back to it here in another week or two when we finally get settled back in. I mean, it's been so busy, like I haven't even shaved.
He's like all about my phone right now. You back around it? My baby.
You know what? I would probably more likely buy a phone from your company if you had a snake in your commercial.
I swear.
I would buy it. At least get me to watch your commercial. Right?
Goodness.
He's all over the place.
Yeah, he is. He's got my phone. He done opened close the apps page.
He's surfing the web, man.
I swear.
So do snakes surf the web or slither the web?
St. Louis, Missouri. Thanks, Ricky.
I hope you're having
Right
a great
back
day
at
too,
ya.
man. Yeah, it's going to turn out to be an okay day here, I think.
Yeah, I got the day off. We got some water plans today.
And we'll get the paddle boards, and I got to feed everybody today. Today's feed day for all the ball pythons.
Not charming. He ate a few days ago.
Yeah. But yeah, I hope you're having a great day too, all the way from St. Louis, huh?
Yeah.
St. Lunatics.
We are normally based in Michigan, but today we are in Indiana. Not too far. We're about 10 minutes from the state line. We just kind of dip in and dip out.
What kind of snake did you have? I wonder. Boa, python, colubrid.
Galileo is actually the only pet we have bought from PetSmart.
From a pet store.
From a big name pet store, and we got really lucky with him. He was in really good condition. He was really healthy. He's never had a problem eating. He grows and sheds fantastic. He's had about a dozen sheds so far since we got him.
Yeah, he's a good boy.
And I didn't realize how much bigger he was until I seen the baby albino milk snake over at Pittsburgh.
Burmese. You had a Burmese. Nice. We lived in Florida for a couple of years, and they're all over down there.
Oh, that was nice.
They're all over down there in the swamp and everything.
I loved
And I-
finding wild snakes there. That was easy to do. They were everywhere.
Yeah, snakes were everywhere. The manatees. I mean, we still live down there. This show would be completely different.
Oh yeah, red-headed agamas. Oh, those things, they're invasive, but they were all over the place, and they're really pretty lizards.
Yeah,
They're like blue and red.
Yeah, rainbow lizards, African rainbow lizards. But yeah, Burmese, man, that's, you know, I want to get a big bodied snake, and we're kind of waiting to get, so my, you know, my wish list is a Hog Island boa first,
You had a Burmese.
and then I think I want a green tree python.
He
or-
wants a green tree python, bro. I'm gonna go get Antares
Okay.
and put Charming back. Say bye, Charming. He's my little baby. I woke him up to bring him down.
Drive back.
Right now.
So yeah, Hog Island boa is gonna be, I think it will be my next purchase. And then I want to go with some things that are a little more arboreal too. I know the Hog Island boa is semi-arboreal, but I want something that I can build an enclosure where there's like a lot of stuff for them to climb and a lot of activity, you know, for the snake. Because you know I got a lot of ball pythons and we got milk snakes and all that, but and the milk snakes are more active than the ball pythons, but I just want something bigger. And then I've thought about getting a retic for my extra leftover rats and stuff like that, because you know they're good. They'll eat and eat. They'll take anything extra that I end up with. So yeah, and then I don't know. Maybe I get something venomous at some point. I mean, a kaboom viper. I don't know if we're allowed to own those in Michigan or not, but I'll have to look into it. But my buddy over at Hog Strictors, David, he's got some venomous, he handles some venomous snakes, and he's really good practices, so I think I'll talk with him to try to get some more information about it, but hopefully someday I have a Gaboon Viper on here. How cool would that be? Let's see, where you going, buddy? What's really cool about milk snakes compared to like your pythons, and you know, I'm sure a lot of you already know, but their bodies, like the way the muscles on their bodies react, is completely different. So they end up with this like cup track right here on the bottom of their bellies, so they can climb when they need to, and it gets this really rigid side right here. I don't know if you can see it on him; he's pretty small, but there's like a crease almost like right here. And so he'll tighten that up to grab around things to climb up and get up into bushes and trees and walls and stuff like that. So these guys are great climbers, and they're super active. They get super long for their bodies. But I mean, he's so pretty, you know. Everybody should own a milk snake, I think, or a hog nose. Everybody should have a bluebird at least. There's Antares.
Where you going?
Is he paradigm?
Yes, he is a paradigm beardy.
I don't know.
So
You can
he's
see
got
him.
spots and he's got a calico.
He's gonna disrupt the camera.
Yeah, his back legs have been wonky since the day I got him.
They stayed under the sand. Maybe a sand boa. I mean, a lot of snakes burrow, right? Galileo here, I find him under his water bowl all the time, buried in his substrate. What are you doing there? Feel like you're gonna poop. Don't poop on me.
Mom got worms for me.
Yeah, a lot of them. Was it maybe a sand boa? You know, a lot of snakes bury, so it's hard to tell. It's hard to tell. Let me see if I can get you wrapped up, and maybe just no, you're not gonna just sit there in my hand. That's perfect.
He's not. No, he's
Awesome.
quite active.
And this is why I usually feature ball pythons on the page, on the live stream, because they're a lot easier to kind of keep track of and concentrate on the stream and everything. So, did you give him a good look at Antares here?
Not yet.
Because
So this is my paradigm beardy, Antares.
turn his body.
He is. He's got some nice spots, and some speckling, and I'm waiting to see if any of his spots change when he sheds. Look at him. It's my little buddy. So he is named after the brightest star in the Scorpius constellation, Antares. It's also known as the heart of the Scorpion. And just like Galileo and Nebula and Pleiades and Seleno, these are all celestial names. Well, Galileo's an astronomer's name, but it's in the same.
Yeah, like you said before,
Theme.
most of our animals are named after scientists or something in the cosmos.
Not handling snakes at expos is a good way to keep your snakes from getting mites, because you can bring home mites and not realize it. Keeping your enclosures clean, making sure you wash your hands before and after handling your snakes. We've never had a mite problem. Not yet. We're hoping we never do.
So there's a lot of misconceptions about mites, right? A lot of people think that mites can come in your substrate that you buy, and I guess maybe that's possible. But that would mean that, I mean, mites are pretty snake specific, right? So if you're getting mites in your substrate that you're buying from the store, that would mean wherever they're getting their substrate from is also raising snakes, or there's a lot of snakes, or for some reason there's snakes present. So you're not going to get it from substrate, because I see that a lot. But more than likely what people do is go and hold other people's snakes who have mites and they're unaware of it, or you go to an expo like she was saying, and you handle their snakes, and you know, it's very easy to bring home mites. Very. I know people who go to expos and come home and immediately strip their clothes off because they hold so many snakes while they're there.
Yeah.
They don't want to bring that into their home and possibly give it to their snakes. So I mean, it's got to be, in my mind, it's got to be snake to snake, right? Because like I said, those mites are very snake specific. So it's not like you're going to get it from a substrate or anything like that. So it would probably be from, you know, coming in contact with somebody with either bad husbandry or, you know, just didn't realize that they had that problem themselves.
Candy's here. I was just asking about you. I was like, where's Candy? Good morning. She's better late than never. She was late today. It was her turn. But I was also going to say, it's unpopular opinion, but you really should not be handling snakes at expos unless you plan on purchasing them, because it causes unnecessary stress to the animal.
Yeah, so I'm going to actually do a whole episode on going to expos and purchasing snakes, or purchasing a new snake in general, and the kind of stuff that you should look out for. It's not just in the snake, right? It's going to be in the breeder and the person selling it to you. So I pay attention to the way that they act and the way that they handle their snakes, and that lets me decide, okay, I might hold their snakes if they're letting everybody hold their snakes, but I probably won't buy one from them. If they're letting everybody hold their snakes, it's just too much of a risk for me to make that kind of a purchase. So, I mean, I'm very particular about who I buy my snakes from. You know, this last snake I got from an expo was Gorgeous George, and he's my GHI, and I got him from Dragon Balls. And I seen several people come up and try to hold their snakes, and he wouldn't let them. Joe wouldn't let them. So
if you're not purchasing it, there's no point.
Yeah, I mean, and a lot of people do that. You know, a lot of sellers will do that because, you know, they think maybe it'll make a better sale. Kind of convince the person if they get to hold the snake that, you know, oh, maybe I do really want this. This is a really cool experience, and they get caught up in that experience and take the snake home. And I get that, but it's just not safe. It's not safe for the animal. It's not safe for your animal's home if you have some at home. So my suggestion is don't hold snakes unless you're prepared to come home and just kind of quarantine yourself before you know, go and mess with your snakes.
And Ricky, I'm so sorry to hear that. He said he brought one home from a friend that couldn't afford it anymore, and within a month, that one and his passed away, and he had it for 10 years.
Yeah.
That's awful.
That's awful, man. I'm so sorry to hear that.
You try to do good by an animal, you know.
It's always important when you buy a new animal to quarantine. I got Dorothy
From Bob.
From Bob Bledsoe about 2 months ago. Bob Bledsoe from Green Room Pythons, and she is still in a quarantine setup for that reason, because I want to monitor her droppings, how often she urates. You know, I want to see what she's producing. And I know, even though I already know that that's a healthy snake that I got from Bob.
You still got to be sure.
Yeah, you got to be sure, you know. And
anything can happen.
so if you run into that situation again, and I don't know, maybe you did, I don't know, but I would put that snake in quarantine in a separate room, you know, maybe in a tub, line it with paper towels so you can see its droppings, how often it is, and you can kind of see that everything's normal, that its sheds are normal.
Or if anything's crawling around.
Yeah, if there's anything crawling off of the snake, it's going to show on that paper towel. It makes it easy to see the mites, and like I said, you get to see its feces, so you can kind of see if there's anything wrong with the snake. And I generally would do that for about 90 days. So
That is not a worm. He's cocked his head, looked at Galileo like, food? No, baby. It's not food.
what was I saying?
I don't know. I was talking to the animals. I'm not listening to you.
Yeah,
Talking about Dorothy being in quarantine, Goofy.
yeah, Ricky, I wasn't trying to be like judgmental, thinking maybe you did something wrong when you brought that other snake in, you know what I mean? Nothing like that at all. Things happen, man, all the time.
He's
and
determined to run to that door.
things happen all the time, and you know, sometimes it's out of our control, and there's nothing that we could have done. We give our best care and we try our best, but sometimes things just don't work out, you know. And that could be true with any baby snake that you get too, you know. You could get a snake that seems perfectly healthy, and then you get it home, and 3 or 4 months later it gets sick and something's wrong, because you know you can't always tell. But you know, hopefully I'll cover some of that, how to check some of that stuff out when I do the episode about purchasing a new snake. But first I gotta get these other 3 out, and once I do that, then I can start filming again. Because I have a Minnesota episode with Bob Bledsoe and Dave Kaufman that I'm promising everybody, and I just haven't gotten it done yet. And I know
Didn't get around to it.
Candy here is probably tired of hearing me talk about it, and just wants me to see and wants me to put it out. And my friend Red Sonia, I know she's really waiting for that to come out too. So I know I got to get to work and get it done. But
Want to go back upstairs, buddy?
you can go back upstairs, bud, and Tyrese.
He's trying to run to that door. He's like, that back door looks like an escape.
He likes that sunlight.
Yeah. Well, he sits in a window upstairs, so he gets on top of his UV. The tube light he's got, on top of that tube light he's got natural sunshine that comes in there. He loves to just sit on his cork and soak it up. I know, baby. You ready? Get clean to my mom. I'll be back again. Bye, Antares. A little cleaner. He's gonna be Evie.
I did keep him a second. Thanks for subscribing, Ricky. I really appreciate it, man. Yeah, there's several things that we should do, you know, and we'll be talking about some of those. You know, our channel just opened up like a couple months ago, and we're doing pretty well. So we don't have a lot of content up yet, but we do have some. I did put one informative video up about assisted sheds that I thought was really boring, but apparently people think is really cool. So well, my WrestleMore is gonna buy a plain belly water snake. Oh yeah? You gotta put pictures of that up on our page so I can see. Or over on the Patreon. That'd be awesome. I'm interested. Hey buddy. Hey buddy. So the state herpetologist hit me back, and we're supposed to be linking up here in another couple weeks to start our hunt for the 18 species of snake in Michigan. So that'll be pretty cool. We'll see how that goes. You know, I always plan this stuff, but you know, I just, you know, it's funny because a lot of people aren't familiar with the snakes that are in their state. You know, a lot of people think our water snakes here are water moccasins. They always get called water moccasins, and they get mistaken for venomous, which northern water snakes are. They have an anticoagulant venom, but it doesn't affect people, right? You might bleed a little more from a water snake bite, but you're not going to bleed out and die. It's not that. They're not water moccasins. You know, it's a completely different snake. Completely different snake. But, and their venom, their anticoagulant venom is just enough for small, like fish, tadpoles, crawdads, stuff like that. So, but yeah, a lot of people think they're venomous, so then they kill them or they abuse them. I just had a call the other day I was standing there for that a guy caught, somebody in a trailer park found it would seem to be a black rat snake, and they thought it was a rattlesnake. So they threw a bottle at its head, you know, and was trying to kill it before they finally called somebody. Thankfully, they didn't kill it, and I was really trying to get the guy to bring the snake to me so I could take it and release it in a safe area that I know of here. And I'm not sure what happened to him, but
It's alright, I mean to kick the table.
earthquake.
Earthquake.
I'm not sure what happened with the rat snake, but I'm just gonna go on believing that it got put somewhere it should be, right?
That it's safe and
You see.
alive.
You see, this neighborhood I've been to twice this week. You got a snake trapped by a terrible snake fence.
Snake fence.
So let's say they should all get together and sue the guy to get their money back. I've been to twice this week and got a snake trapped by.
What's a snake fence? How are
Yeah.
they trapping snakes? What?
Oh, buddy. Oh, buddy.
Plain bellied water snake. Oh, they're trapping snakes.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, are they trapping him and releasing him? I'm not sure. Is he?
Where are you going? I'm trying to give you worms. Look,
Hey guys, this is Nebula.
this is Nebula.
Hello, Nebby.
This was the first beardy I bought. We had one given to us. I'm
Yeah.
trying to think of the word. Surrendered to us. And then after that, he was about 2 years old when he was surrendered. That's Friedrich. And I thought, oh, I really want a baby one I can raise that'll love me and know me, and that's Nebula. This is my little buddy. It's supposed to be a rattlesnake exclusion fence. Yeah, apparently it catches more than rattlesnakes. That's awful.
I mean, I understand. You know, rattlesnakes aren't. I don't know. It seems like people tend to think. I understand that accidents happen, right? But 99% of snake bites come from people messing with the snakes. That's a fact. 99% of venomous bites are from people messing with snakes. Very rarely do they, you know, a lot of times they're just trying to hide, and you might accidentally step on one, you know, and that's unfortunate, but I don't think that I mean, they're not out trying to actively hunt us, and you got to move him.
He was just being cute and you couldn't see him. He was out of the screen.
So,
One more.
here, you sit there. You sit there.
And that's it, fatty.
So I guess my point is like we're out killing all these snakes, and people don't even know what they're killing most of the time, because you know the stigma that surrounds snakes keeps everybody like scared of everything that slithers.
Swindle.
And there's so many snakes you can just go right up and pick up in the wild. And, you know, it's hard to identify them, but there's no reason to kill them just because you don't know what they are. You know, just leave them be, and more than likely they're just going to go the other way.
At least they're not putting them in a box in a trash compactor.
Yeah. But they were swindled.
Yeah.
Oh, I got you. They contacted me through the free snake relocation group on Facebook. Maybe
That's
I should
awesome.
get on that too. Well, that's good. I'm glad, you know, not everybody's, you know, out trying to kill snakes, but, you know, they're an important part of our ecosystem. So I'm glad that there's groups out there for the, like, free snake relocation groups on Facebook. And I'm so proud that you're my friend and you're a part of it and you subscribe to our page. That is pretty awesome.
I love people who love to help animals. I mentioned saving turtles on my route, and one guy walked by me and he was like, good people. I'm like, that part. Well, we'll use my van and block the whole road and put my flashers on. Like, everybody wait. We get turtle out of the road. I drive a big Amazon van. So it takes up a good chunk of the road if I really wanted to.
We just saved a painted pond turtle out of the middle of a 6-lane intersection.
Really busy intersection. I don't know how he got that far or where he was going.
It was rained really hard that day, so he's out in the middle of the road, like literally in the turn lane, going back and forth because
Between the lanes.
he can't decide. There's a car this way, then he goes this way, there's a car that way. So we stopped traffic, jumped out in the middle of the intersection, grabbed him up.
Took him around the corner to, there's a pond or a lake, like a gravel pit inside a fenced area, and we're assuming he was headed that way because there's no water the other way. So he took him, we parked over across the street, and he went to where the fence was and put him over the fence and let him go, and he ran right off, man. It was a good day. I cannot believe he is where he was, or that he hadn't been hit already.
We saved a mole the other day like that too. We drove up the road and this little mole's just all over the hot concrete. It's 100 degrees outside.
Oh.
He's right down the middle of the... So yeah, we love animals. That's my point. We really love animals.
I picked him up by his fur, he freaked out, pooped all over himself. What?
Kind of like Galileo does.
Yeah, that's fine, baby. I put him in the grass.
So yeah,
Nebby.
I probably should do that episode soon.
What?
About when you're going to buy a new snake, like from an expo, from a breeder, and the type of behaviors and stuff to look for with the snake and the breeders.
An informative episode?
Yeah. Let's put another informative episode out. I got a couple cool ones. I got Potawatomi Zoo Luminate, I think it's called. A Zoo Luminate. So I went to a zoo, which I'm not a big fan of zoos. But our local zoo is pretty cool. Yeah, I'm holding a snake. It's the Snake Channel. This is
Galileo, the
Galileo.
albino milk snake.
Look at that cute little face.
We had Prince Charming out this morning, but I put him back and brought Antares down, and then I put Antares down and brought Galileo.
No, we are not Christians.
We are not, no.
No, this is not a Sunday snake handling church Pentecostal.
Our church is snakes and coffee.
Yeah. I live in the house of science.
Yeah.
And
We keep
biology.
religion and politics out of everything.
Pretty much.
There's no sense in it.
Live a pretty happy life that way too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He is a
isn't he?
little cutie. He is so pretty. I absolutely adore him. Now, when we first got him, his thermostat wire was through, they got the little clips that you could put the wires in.
We lost him.
You remove the little clip. Dude, he got out of that clip. He was gone for like 2 weeks. We're freaking out looking for him. Couldn't find him anywhere. Luckily, our son blew the breaker in his bedroom.
This dude was hiding in the breaker box.
He was in the breaker box, y'all. Like...
Galileo is an albino milk snake, Andy.
Yes. That's my baby.
You see a good look at him.
Before he got all his ball pythons, we bought Galileo first.
Look at that.
And he's just chilling too. He's such a good boy. He's a good eater. He's real aggressive when he eats.
Yeah, he was just a little tiny guy when we got him.
Just a baby.
Barely a worm.
It's my sweetheart.
Yeah, he's awesome. So he eats 2 to 3 times a week.
Twice a week.
And we feed him mice fuzzies.
Yeah. Frozen thawed.
Yep, frozen thawed mice fuzzies 2 to 3 times a week, and he is getting real healthy. Look at his little butt.
I just dangle it in there in front of him wherever he's at. If he's under his water bowl, if he's behind his cork, as soon as he sees that little mouse dangling there, he's on it quick. I usually pull the mouse up a little bit so he can wrap around it real good before I set him down, and he does great. He's the best eater we got.
Yep, he's a cool little guy. I love him. We don't handle him near as much. And like I had put a post up about, I hadn't featured him. This is the first time he's been on the channel.
Mm-hmm.
And I hadn't featured him before. So I thought, well, why wouldn't I feature him? I mean, I know everybody likes the ball pythons, and that's cool, but these colubrids, man, they are so cool.
He's so
Their
pretty.
behaviors are completely different. Their enclosures are completely different. I mean, they just, it's just a completely different animal, if you would.
They are fascinating creatures and a very important part of our ecosystem.
Yeah, I mean, the rodents that carry diseases into homes, you know, these guys take care of them. Um, they're a great part of our ecosystem,
And they don't want to bother anybody. They don't want to be bothered.
yeah, that's the cool thing about snakes is they don't hunt you. They don't care. They'd rather not be around you. They're looking for their food, and that's that. That's all they care about.
Did she say it's
And
weird
being safe.
that we're not Christian, or weird that you're holding a snake?
I don't know. Doesn't matter.
Thanks for not running off the table.
See if he stays there like that.
Well, we're big fans of weird.
Different, I would say. So, what else can we talk about? I wonder where Sonia is this week. She's gonna see this later,
Yeah.
after it's over. So that's why I'm saying
So
that.
leave a comment later. I was here. Where are you going? We're
She's
not
got a
doing
pretty
that.
busy life too. She works real late, so
We're not
I
doing that.
understand.
Yeah, I get it. I didn't get off work till after 10 last night.
Yeah, you can learn a lot about snakes. Click that subscribe button. You can learn a lot about snakes. You know, our live feeds are more just kind of chatting with our subscribers, people who show up who have questions. It's not so much informative. We do talk about some informative stuff, so you will get a little education through our live feeds. But our episodes will have more information than anything. And of course, we've got funny shorts and pretty shorts.
And we are more than just snakes. That's why it's exotics and more, because we have bearded dragons, we have guinea pigs, our son's got a redfoot tortoise.
Right.
We got all the fun things.
We had the tarantula, which we'll get some more. I mean, we love animals, you know, and everybody has dogs and cats.
We do have 3 cats and a good dog. But
Yeah, so there's tons of cat videos out there. I know there's a lot of snake videos out there too, but
I love you too, Nebby.
the more we let people know that snakes aren't evil, they aren't a sign of evil, that they're not killers, they're not murderers anyways, and they really just want to be left alone. I think, you know, we need to normalize that snakes are a part of our world, man, and we shouldn't be out here killing them and demonizing them. Oops.
And we socialize ours enough for them to know that the giant monkey coming into their enclosure is not going to harm them. So they're comfortable with our presence. It takes a minute. It takes some, what's the word I'm looking for? Neutral encounters. Takes a lot of neutral encounters. Little things like sticking your hand in and letting them sniff you and not touching them, not disturbing them. Give it about 2-3 minutes, maybe 5 tops. And then just taking your hand back out and doing it again the next day. Just so that they can get your scent and they realize that once you're there and you leave, they're still alive. They're fine.
So yeah, she says, my husband always tells me, feed a dog, he loves you forever. Feed a cat, he says, thanks, and maybe I'll see you later. The
Feed
snake
me.
says, feed me and get lost.
Aha, that part. Feed me and then go away.
Yeah. Well, until I poop.
And then come back and clean it up.
So what funny behaviors did anybody, what funny behaviors have you noticed your snakes do, like when they poop?
Thanks, Ricky. You have a wonderful day too. Absolutely. Subscribe to the channel and he posts things constantly. So there's always something to look at.
There's always something. I appreciate you joining us, man. Hope to see you next week. We do this every week.
Every Sunday at
Sunday
9.
at 9. Coffee with snakes. That's our thing. So thanks for joining us today, Ricky.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Good
Have a
looking
great day. What was I saying just before that? What is he doing?
He's touching me. He loves me. He touches my face and he stays there. And if I pull my face away, he comes back over to it. Because he's my buddy.
He's so strange, man.
Yes. This is my love bug. He's like, you're talking.
No idea they don't poop in my presence. So when a couple of mine, when they poop, they stick to one hide, and then when they poop, they'll go hide in the other one. That's how I know their hiding is cleaned out. And then I have one that tries to dig. I've noticed her nosing her nose into the corner like she thinks she stinks. and she got to get away from it.
Yeah, like I don't know where she's going. Is she gonna go climb into the clay balls or what?
I don't know, but it's funny. So yeah, I've noticed a couple different behaviors in my snakes when they poop. So that way I know I got to go clean out their enclosure.
Be right back again.
Where are you going now?
I'm going to put Nettie back.
You gonna get Friedrich?
Do you want me to grab Friedrich or
Yeah.
Celino?
Either one. Selena will be cool. He's different. He's a lizard of a different color.
He's a Hypo Inferno.
Yeah. Seleno, our other bearded dragon, is a Hypo Inferno. I think she's gonna go grab him and bring him down. He's pretty cool looking. I just try to keep one snake. So I wonder. I was thinking about who I was gonna feature next week because I thought about bringing another new snake on, but now that I brought this one on, let's just say, except for him let loose on me. What kind of is it? Is cornflake a corn snake or is it a carpet? I can't remember. It's got carpet pythons. I know Sonia has carpets. Yep, she's a corn. I figured from the name, right? Corn snakes are super cool, man. I like corn snakes. They've got one down at my favorite pet store now. I want to say it's a Sunfire Unknown, maybe. And it's probably 3 or 4 years old. It's about 10 times as big as Galileo here. Beautiful snake. Ah, gorgeous, just gorgeous. Yeah, we are missing Sonia this morning. I knew you had a hoggy. I knew you had a hog nose. I can't wait to catch one of those in a while, dude. That's going to be so cool. The ones we got out here, super cool looking. They almost look like vipers.
This is my bright Celino. See how orange he is. He's trying to tuck himself under my chin. He's a little aggravated. I pulled him out.
Yeah, Celie is not as socialized as happy to be around people.
Yeah.
He's kind of a spaz sometimes.
Yeah.
But me and him have been developing a relationship, so
We still love him.
very much. He's got some really cool blues right here. I know you probably can't see it.
Farted her corn snake, let loose on her, and then farted. Ew. That's funny.
Is it funny when snakes fart, man?
The bearded dragons candy, we have 2 normal ones, the Paradigm, and then the Hypo Inferno. We've got 4 all together. I fell in love with Celino when he was, God, like this big. He was so little, and he was so bright, and he was so orange and so yellow, and he looked so different compared to the other beardies. She had a couple of hypos in there, and he was just the brightest, and he's tucked under my chin. He was hiding. Put that snake down, Uncle. It is poisonous.
No, it is not.
Picasso? No. Milk snakes aren't poisonous, silly. Everybody has Google, baby. Be better.
This is an albino version of a milk snake. And there is a poisonous snake out there that looks kind of like a milk snake, like a Honduran milk snake, but its patterns are different.
None of our snakes are poisonous. Nothing in our house is poisonous, except maybe our kids. That's a joke. They're sweethearts.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, this guy is so sweet. Look at him.
He is. He wouldn't hurt nobody. He's never struck at anyone. He's never attempted to bite anybody. He's not aggressive whatsoever.
Nope. He just wants to get away from you. Like most snakes, they tolerate you. They don't care about you. They don't love you. They're not going to cuddle up to you. If they do happen to cuddle up to you, it's because they're stealing your heat.
Yeah.
You know, they're just tired of moving around.
They're not sizing you up.
Yep,
they don't do that.
Yep. They're not sizing you up. Most snakes, even venomous snakes, they just want to get away from you. You know, even anacondas, you know, they don't want nothing to do with us.
If we had the moss ball, he's got a moss ball in his enclosure, he'd tuck himself right in there and not come out. You could hold him, stare at him. That's also a good neutral experience, is even if they're in something they feel safe hiding in, and they can see you and you can see them, and then when you're done and you put them back, that's a neutral experience. They realize they haven't been harmed and that you're safe.
Yeah. A channel. I mean, we usually get a couple hundred views on our lives. which is really cool. You know,
We're not doing too bad for being like a brand new channel. We've had what, 4 or 5 weeks of lives?
yeah. I think this is our 4th live. I'll have to look. It's our 4th or our 5th live. But yeah, we're doing okay. You know, we just want to be. We just want to help educate people about snakes.
Yeah, this is our 5th one.
About exotic animals in general. You know, as I mentioned before, my channel is always going to be snake based, primarily. But we have so many more other animals, right? So many other things to talk about. So many other exotic animals to go through and talk about, and what they eat and where they live, and there's just so many cool facts about these guys. I mean,
Once you start figuring out they're essentially harmless, then it's a lot easier to appreciate their existence. A lot of people have been raised with an irrational fear of snakes, mostly because they don't know that the snakes are harmless.
a reminder, if you're here, go ahead and smash that like button.
Aw.
Had several people in this morning. Go ahead and hit that like button. That helps us out a little bit.
Don't take off, Celie. I'm just trying to give you worms.
Subscribe to our channel. That helps us out a little bit. Hopefully get to a place where we can start investing, you know, whatever we make off the channel into conservation efforts and helping that way.
Calm down.
You know, so that's the aim. That's the goal. You know, that's why I started working with foundations. Like I'm, you know, trying to hook up with the Edward Lowe Foundation, who has a huge conservation program that they do, which is so awesome. And they also support and incubate small businesses. So I mean, and they tie all this together. It's so cool, and they do a lot of educational things. So I'm, you know, hoping to hook up with them. And like I was talking about the Michigan herpetologist earlier and the biologist from Michigan. So we're gonna link up with all these people, man. It's gonna be a pretty cool year for this channel. So
You're very upset, aren't you?
I hope you guys subscribe and stay tuned, because it's gonna be great. We got a lot of things planned, and this isn't your normal startup YouTube channel. When I do things, I tend to do them pretty big.
It's gonna slide all over the place, huh?
I tend to
He just wants to run.
we say, okay, so I tend to do things unconventionally. Like I don't have no chill. I just go in, I start talking to people, and I figure out how I can make a situation beneficial to everybody. So.
And we have a lot of fun out adventuring to get footage, yeah, for the channel. Because we go out and adventure. We've been doing this. We've been married 25 years. And that's what we've always done. We hike, we walk trails, we go in the woods, we find rivers, we find creeks. Wherever there's nature, that's where you're going to find us.
Right. So a little backstory on us. So we have 4 kids.
3 boys and a girl.
I have 5. My oldest is 27. And our oldest is 19. He's about to be 20 in February. And so we've been married 25 years. Before we had kids, we had a bunch of exotics. We had iguanas, we had birds, we had a 90-gallon fish tank, we had
hedgehog,
tarantulas, iguana,
turtles, aquatic frogs, fish.
So we're not new to this.
It's just been a few years.
It's been a few years, and our kids are old enough now that we can get back into it, and they're old enough that we can teach them about the animals and how to handle them. And so that's kind of where we're at. It's a little backstory on this. So our hedgehog, we used to have a hedgehog named Prick.
He was a sweetheart. He's just pokey.
Yeah, he's a sweetheart. But yeah, we've been doing this a long time. You know, when I was a kid, I was in the paper because I was out catching frogs. I was probably 8, 9 years old, and they did this whole spread on catching frogs and the tadpoles and why they were there. So I was able to inform them why the tadpoles were there, why all the frogs suddenly showed up to that place. There's a pond in the park, and at 8 years old I was educating. So hoping to bring some of that same energy. Bring a towel to put them on at the table.
Yeah, that's.
Oh,
We already did that.
okay. I'm behind.
Because Candy's awesome.
Yep.
He's really just a runner. Nebula will sit and hang out with me. Selena, given the first chance, will take off, hide under something, be difficult to get out.
Yeah.
He'll try to jump out of my hands.
Yeah, it's pretty diverse set of animals we've got so far.
Yeah.
And like I said, we're waiting for our new place to get done. And when our new place gets done, we're hoping to, here in the next year or two, set up a whole exotics room so that we can, then I get that hog on a bow I've been waiting for. And that green tree python. What are you doing, buddy? You gonna be my necklace?
Yes. His shoes are stuck. There he goes. He got him unstuck.
So if you ever notice when you're holding your snakes and they curl around your neck or sometimes your wrists, it feels like they start squeezing, and that's their shoes getting stuck. We call it their shoes getting stuck. Look at him just roll his tail down.
Where you going, buddy? Whatever I want.
Look at him. He's so cool. I love him.
He's a sweetheart.
I love him.
Well, we only got about 4 minutes left.
Yep.
And I gotta get around.
Yeah.
A long day ahead of us.
So looks like we got quite a few viewers this week.
A couple of people popped in, not quite sure what was going on.
She said, "Ooh, breakfast."
Yeah, I've given everybody worms when I brought them down. It's a nice little treat.
And the buds pull out. That's funny. Mine gets caught up in the. So Candy's saying that hers gets tangled up in her headset.
Pulls her earbuds out.
And pulls her earbuds out, and so mine get caught up in my chain and my necklace a lot, especially the pythons.
Was it Dorothy was hooked around your ear last week? That shirt you put up of her on your head being awkward? Wish you weren't so awkward, bud.
She had a little tail hooked around my ear. It's funny. I put up a short of it. She's cute. She's awesome. But yeah, guys, if you're watching, hit the subscribe. Sometimes
Where do you think you're going?
hit the subscribe button because we have a lot of fun here sometimes, and we put out some good information. And if you like snakes and you want to help the community out, you got information you want to share with the other subscribers that are in the feed. It's a community thing, so we'd love to have you.
You're so pretty. You're obnoxious, but you're gorgeous. You're not obnoxious, but you are gorgeous. Get him near him. He's gonna think it's a worm.
Not a worm, bro.
No. But I'm gonna go stick him back.
Okay, well, we're getting ready. I think we're getting ready, and we're about to our hour now.
Yeah.
Like, subscribe, comment on any channel you want to subscribe. Yeah, definitely.
Bye,
Yeah.
Seely. Cut you out.
I'm a creator, but I support several creators on YouTube, and yeah, it's important. There's a lot of good creators out there that are trying to put some really good information out, and if you like a channel, always comment and subscribe, because you're just helping that channel out a little bit. You help us support them, give them the energy to carry on and keep doing stuff like this. So I think that's it for this week, guys. I think we've made it to our hour, and I'm gonna go put my milk snake back and get my paddleboard out and get on the water. Again, like, subscribe, join us next week. We'll be here Sunday, 9 a.m. Eastern, every Sunday, for our live stream, Coffee with Snakes. And we only ended up at Starbucks this week, but usually we do a pour over, some special bean that I feature. So yeah, like, subscribe, and stay wild. Keep your feet on the ground. Take care, guys. I'm out.